Warning: this episode contains some brief flashing color lights, which may cause discomfort for people with photosensitivity conditions. Viewer discretion is advised. Previously on Ultra Primal's G1 Retro Reviews, we go through this entire episode and we see what? Just the corner of one single vending machine? Where are all the panties?
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Transformers! Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons! Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Welcome back to my G1 Retro Reviews. Today we're taking a look at the original Transformers series episode, Auto-Bop. In this episode, Blaster, Trax, Raoul, and friends investigate a hot new nightclub. But this club is more than meets the eye, because it's actually run by the Decepticons. We begin this episode with a bunch of kids waiting to get into a new dance club called Dancetron. A group which includes Trax's little buddy, Raoul, and his friends. But they are run off by some thugs.
Time to pull a Michael Jackson.
I'm afraid to ask, but what exactly does he mean by this?
What? Let's beat it.
First, there's poop salad.
Oh, I was worried he was going to say, well, never mind. One of Raoul's friends also name drops Prince.
I wish this was the Blaster. He'd show those turkeys. Cool it with that jive, man. You know the Autobots like I know Prince.
I wonder how it works with celebrities' names being used in media like this. Is it fair use? So, Trax and Blaster come to Raoul and his friends' rescue.
You are seriously out of your league, brother.
You think these little chains can hold up?
I ought to French fry your circuits. Pop lock, rock steady. This here's my friend, Trax. And that's Blaster.
Poplock and Rocksteady? Doesn't that sound an awful lot like Bebop and Rocksteady? Who wrote this episode anyways? David Wise! Of course! He worked on the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I wonder if these two kids are a reference to the TMNT characters. This episode did come out a couple years before the TMNT cartoon. Would the production time of that show have been that long? Or is this simply a weird coincidence? So, Blaster and Trax get into Dancetron.
Hey, what's happening?
Wanna dance?
Blaster? Hey, he's off my man.
Yeah, come on, Trax. Let Blaster have a dance. I know you're not interested in girls, but maybe there's some guys here who would like to dance with you.
Hey, where'd you get those threads? Soho?
Cybertron. Hey, what's the address?
In spite of all my surveillance, two Autobots just waltz into the joint.
They must be terminated.
Huh. Soundwave must have forgotten to shave this morning, because his faceplate is looking pretty rough. Wait, hold on. You don't just flash a billboard that says Love's Room in front of me and expect me to let it pass by. I thought this episode was set in New York. I didn't know that they have love hotels there like in Japan. Under mind control, the engineer speeds up the subway train that Raoul and his friends are on. And I'm hesitant to even mention this, but when the train blasts through the station, we can see a couple of ladies hold their skirts down as the train rushes by. However, one girl is a little too close to the tracks, and for a few frames, literally blink and you'll miss it, her skirt gets blown up and you can see her panties. Again, I was wary about even mentioning this, but clearly G1 has some pervy animators working for it. They couldn't have just made her panties yellow to match and blend in with her skirt? Or, just not shown her panties at all? But no, turns out we have a panty shot in Transformers. I mean, it's not like one you'd see in anime. It's literally blink and you'll miss it. But it's there. Okay, have I made you look at this girl's panties enough? Let's move on, shall we? People start climbing out of the train, which is obviously incredibly dangerous. Luckily, Trax and Blaster spot the train and stop it. Unfortunately, not like Spider-Man did. Trax and Raoul come across some people being mind-controlled, and Raoul wants to fight them, but Trax just picks him up and sticks him in his cleavage. I mean, his chest. All that panties talk has got me messed up. Anyways, I think it's pretty cute how Trax does this. And it kind of reminds me of the rescue bots and how they can open their chest windows and stuff. Meanwhile, after getting some golden tickets from a stranger, Bebop, Pop-Lock and Rocksteady manage to get into Dancetron, where they dance with a couple of cute girls. Aww. But it seems the boys have been hypnotized too, and when Trax finds them in the club, they lure him into a trap. And Starscream and Soundwave turn the brainwashed humans on him. And when Raoul eventually finds him, well, I don't know what Starscream was planning to do with him, but I have some very wrong ideas. When Blaster checks out the DJ booth,
Soundwave, you're the one who's been putting out the ultrasound.
Correct. My accomplice is behind you.
probably shouldn't have given Blaster the heads up there, Soundwave. If you're trying to take somebody by surprise, you don't warn them about it. Raoul frees Trax, who chases after Starscream, while Blaster and Soundwave have an audio battle. Unfortunately, there's not very much to hear. Blaster appears to be on the ropes until he uses Dancetron's own sound system against Soundwave, and he really brings down the house. So Trax beats Starscream, and Blaster uses his new accessories to demolish the building that the Decepticons had their human zombies construct. And this episode ends with Blaster and Trax helping Raoul and his friends earn enough money to buy a new boombox.
Oh no. Oh no.
I don't know what Blaster is complaining about here. This seems exactly like the type of thing that he loves to do. Playing music? Dancing? What's he worried about? Wearing out his batteries?
I just replaced the 20D batteries it takes to operate this thing.
Well, this was a fun episode of G1. I always love to see more of Trax. And Blaster is pretty cool too. They make for a great duo. It's also interesting how there are literally only 2 Autobots in this episode, unless you count Teletran 1, aka Mainframe. Likewise, Starscream and Soundwave are basically the only 2 Decepticons in this entire episode, aside from a brief appearance by Megatron via Zoom. So quite the small cast, which I think really worked well in this episode's favor. I also loved all the different outfits and stuff that all the humans had. I'm so glad that there wasn't just a bunch of people repeated with the same outfit. I love how wild some of them are dressed. I especially love this one girl in Red's outfit. It's really cute. In fact, I might steal it for when I eventually do a comic about my OC. Double, in fact. I think I might do a little headcanon retcon to this episode so that this girl is actually my OC in human form. Sure, this girl is blonde and my OC has red hair, but she could be in disguise or something. But yeah, this was a super fun episode. I think it might be one of my favorites. What about you? What did you think of this episode of G1? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you here next time for another very special episode of the original Transformers series, The Search for Alpha Trion, the debut of the first female Transformers in this show. You know, not counting Alana or Nightbird, because they're not Cybertronians. So I'll see you here next time for that.